Hello everyone, welcome to today DFI webinar. And I'm DFI SOM ODM Product Division Director, Ethan Wong. And today we will introduce DFI products and service for the mission critical applications. Okay, so if you have any questions based on my presentation, you're welcome to interrupt me or just raise your hand to send some message to me. Okay, so let's start. Okay, before I start to introduce our product and the service, I think we should simply define what's the keywords of mission critical. And okay, so what kind of keywords we need in the critical mission critical products? Will it be the white temperature? Yeah, I think yes, because mostly this kind of application are using the outdoors, so we need maybe like minus 40 to 85 degrees. And will it be the anti-vibration and the shock? Yeah, I think yes. Like sometimes we use in like aerospace or like in vehicle. So we need to prevent any damage from the vibration or shock. And of course, the reliability and durability, especially in like military applications. Sometimes the equipment need to be stocked maybe over 10 years to 20 years. So the reliability and the durability is very important for this kind of application. So also, in the difficult environment, the waterproof, the shockproof, and drop-proof are also necessary requirements. And version control and the longevity still should be the key point, because all the products once spec into the equipment. Excuse me? Okay, so we need to lower the impact to any revision change. And once our product is end of life, that means they need to retest and do lots of certificate or validation for the new product. So as long as to maintain the product life and limited revision control can make the process of the product more consistency. So the conclusion, yes, everything on list should be the requirement of mission critical product. But it is not saying that every product requires all of the requirements. It really depends on the real case, the application, and the scenario. So I will do more explanation in the next page. Now we're going to introduce DFI product in mission critical application. And I will bring some success story as example. Okay, so mostly we use defense and aerospace to describe mission critical. So I will start from this kind of application. So first, I start from defense control system. Underground, we need defense control system. As you can see, I listed several ConExpress products, but it doesn't mean that only ConExpress can be the option. But in reality, ConExpress Type 10 is much easier to spec in mission critical application. And that's, so I listed some Express type 10 product here, and start from the 8-ohm base to the Intel Core i7 ULT platform. So we do a lot of effort on this form factor because we think that is very suited for the mission critical application. So then we jump to the defense missile system. So in this application, I will do a little more explanation about why the constant press is much easier to spec in this kind of application. And one of that is this kind of form factor is non-connector design, only with the bolt-to-bolt connector, but others basically no any other connector. So if you notice, there's a CR960, there's a SOD connector on board, but in this project we are redesigning the board and with the memory down. So basically it's totally non-connector. And this kind of form factor and structure is better for the vibration protection. And if the application requires some like a conformal coating or something, that is much easier to do the coating. So that's why this kind of form factor is kind of popular in mission critical application. And another reason is this structure make the customer design totally confidential. So they can hold their know-how in their side and only need to require us to provide the computing unit for that. So I just do the quick summary. So one is this form factor is built on anti-vibration and easy to make a conformal coating. And also it can avoid no hard leakage to other supplier. Okay, so back to other page. And then go to the marine. Okay, so we have several customized marine projects, so I cannot list that on the page, but we do know how to build marine product, not only the board level, but also like a panel PC or system level. So basically, the requirements is IC 609445. So we do have that project, but mostly our ODM project. So I only put on one CH960 customized on board. And this project is going with VPX. So VPX is a proprietary definition of connector. And this connector can get a high-speed signal and high-performance interface to adapt it to the military application. So we do have this one project. It's called JDM. We only provide the computing unit and a customer do the VPX part. But we got another product. It's ODM product. We build a whole VPX board in our site. Okay, on this page, it's about aerospace. So we do have several aerospace projects, but it's not so much. And one of them we're using our EC70B for this application. Another one is using our Conformal Express Type 10 8-ohm base. So I quickly describe some mission critical application, and those products mostly we are using Compress. That is because this kind of application is very are using in very strict environment. But in the other mission critical application, we still get some opportunity of our standard product. So I will do more introduce of our product. Okay. So for example, even in the military or some environment, there still need some personal system. So we do have some customers, they are helping like Army to build their personal system for that. And we already have some success project with our standard product, not only ATX form factor, but also mini ITS. So that's one kind of military application. So I think I just want to point it out that in our mind, the mission critical means white temp and like anti-vibration, like anti-humidity, some very strict environmental requirements. But in that field, there's lots of application scenario in that field. So still get some opportunity. For example, even in the Army, there still need some storage, some server level, and even they need to build some AI system for their application. So we also get some opportunity with selling our serverable PR610 and also the PR810 and SO630 to the SI who build some high performance system for the Army, for the mission critical. And also we get some opportunity like communication system. That is because in the recent year, the 5G infrastructure is built up. And that means in the future, there are more and more data transfer and more wireless bandwidth. So the infrastructure will make like server application, storage application, and the networking application grows. So even in the military or some aerospace application, they also need to increase their equipment for the future usage. So also we got lots of product. They are all standard product, and they pick up our standard product to do like a radar system. So this radar system is outdoor. So the one time is necessary, but otherwise it's not so special compared to defense system or like defense missile system. So not only Compress, we got 3.5 and 2.5 in those products. Okay, and also we do have some success story of the rugged laptop. So because it's a rugged laptop, so the mechanical size is not so critical. So we can still use Compress to adapt or use like 3.5 in this kind of product. Okay, on this page. And of course, there's still some rugged system. So in this, in this situation, they are not using they are not required or all the critical requirements only for the board. They are using like mechanical and thermal design to cover all the requirements. So we still can promote to this kind of SI for our standard product. Once they build into their system, they still can pass all the validation. So basically, we're talking about the mission critical product. It's not only talking about the PCB. We are talking about the whole system or whole application. So if the PCBA can handle more vibration and more waterproof or something, that means they can easier to adapt to build their own system. But it doesn't mean if our board cannot be like anti-vibration or like waterproof, then we cannot win the opportunity. It really depends on the application scenario and what we focus on. So here's like a rugged panel PC. So in the same reason, we do have some project wins using mini ITS as our standard product, 3.5 inch, and also like Express Type 10. So this is briefly introduce our standard product success in the mission critical application. And as you can see, there's lots of opportunity we're using Express. So basically, Express is a good form factor for those strict environmental application. Those they want to keep their know-how in their side. Okay. So although I bring a lot of success story for our standard product, but basically it's not so easy to sell the product to those applications then do nothing. Mostly we need to do a lot of service for this kind of application. So next page, I will start to introduce a DFI service capability for the mission critical application. So basically our 4 agenda. One is quality consistency. The second is called a BIOS customization. And I will do a little bit introduce of the hot, highly accelerated life test. And the last is conformal coating treatment. Okay. So start from the quality consistency. So if this is the mission critical product, ODM, or dedicated for this application product, we need to make the quality start from design stage. But mostly they are picking up our standard product. So the more important things will be how to keep the production quality. And this IPC class 3, it's a certification, which means it can approve our factory and our quality management is qualified to make sure all the product we produce is keep the same quality. So we already, our manufacturing already get the certification of IPC class 3. And this page shows we got the quality. We are qualified manufacturer, and we also have the trainer, not only the certified specialist. We got a trainer here, so he can train our own employee to be a qualified specialist. And one thing I bring up mentioned is it's called PCB Microsection. This one also can make sure the production quality from the PCB manufacturing side. So PCB Microsection can make sure the PCB produce quality and the PCB is really follow our Gerber design. Because sometimes if we see the layout file, we can find some via holes in the like small ships. But in reality, sometimes the PCB manufacturer, they produce the PCB and those via holes is bigger than we thought. So the ship will be pieced apart. So this kind of situation, we need to prevent. If we need to prevent this kind of situation, we need to do the PCB microsection to see the real PCB production quality and make sure everything is same as our layout design. So we do have our standard product already made a PCB microsection. This is not every product, but we got some selected product already to the microsection, so can make sure our product quality consistency. Okay, so the next one is BIOS customization. So we do lots of effort for the BIOS customization. So today I will focus on to introduce fast BIOS booting time and fixed max CPU frequency. Okay. So I think I need to explain the definition of a booting duration. So I believe most of you guys heard some requirement from your customer. They're asking, can you shorten the booting time? So based on our experience, if we need to discuss with customer how to shorten the booting time, we need to separate different parts and do the well-defined what we can do and what we cannot. So basically there are three parts. One I call the power on duration, and this area is related to the power mode. For example, if you are using AD power without standby power, that means every time you power on, there is a little bit power delay for the we need to generate to standby power before the main power. So it will a little bit longer than ATX power. And like battery loss, some case in their application, they cannot make sure the power, battery power for a long time. For example, sometimes we need to put some equipment in the storage for 20 years, 10 years. That means all the battery power will be lost. So in that case, the booting time should be longer. And some power on duration is based on the platform. Like ARM-based is faster than AMD, AMD faster than Intel. That is based on their internal structure. It's not much we can do. So that's a condition. And what we can do is like power design. Because power design, sometimes we need to follow the platform sequence requirement. So we can try to limit the the delay time or power good time to shorten the power on duration. And the second part is about the BIOS duration. It's what we can do. And this duration basically is more longer than other two. So it's about like a CPU memory performance because once we boot up the product, we need to do the memory sizing. So the more larger size of memory means you need more time to do the sizing. And like function requirements, if you need all the function be ready during the BIOS, that means we need to coding for longer time for that. And the interface initialization, that is mostly impact the duration. If we set up lots of peripheral device, that means we need to initial all the device during the BIOS, the booting up. So all of the condition will impact the booting time. And the last one is storage, OS duration. This depends on what storage interface you are using. Are you using PCIe for the NVMe, or using SATA, or using USB, or using eMMC? The interface directly impacts the speed. And also what the storage you choose. Are you using traditional hard drive or using SSD? And your OS type, you adapt lots of function in your OS, which means you need more time to load all the features. And your application, you can using a quick application or a huge. So we need to perfectly define the different area and list all the condition with customer. Then we can come up the best solution for the customer. So I also list our general case. General case in some condition, like we can fix the memory size, skip the sizing without much peripherals, and using SSD and small size OS, we can boot in within 3 seconds on the Windows. So this page just want to show you how we process and what is important in this period. And then jump to the fixed max CPU frequency. So I'm not going to say how to fix the CPU frequency and how to keep the best performance. This page just want to show you how we make sure every single board we produce is fulfill the requirements. So once our customer their board need to be fix the CPU frequency, make sure the performance is good in any situation. Then we will set up a production test profile. As you can see, we will run from the normal temperature, then go to the -40, then back to the 83. Then we will run in some test program and monitor all the CPU speed, then print the log file. So make sure the product is okay, and you are welcome to untrack all the message. Of course, they make some extra cost, but if your customer are asking any kind of this requirement, we can handle that. We already got lots of experience. Okay, so the first topic is highly accelerate live test. There's lots of words in this page. I just briefly introduce. Basically, this is a test to trying to find the weakness during the strict environments. So we are using the temperature high load stress. and like a rapid thermal transaction stress, and also vibration stress. Then we combine that together. So the defect discovery by the test type. So you will know the defect rate in different situations. Then we can come out some solution to prevent this to happen again. So the test goal is not to not find any trouble. It's to find the trouble and then to find a way to find the weakness. Then we can come out a different way to solve the problem. So this page can show you how we process. So basically, we put some board in the chamber and measuring the component temperature. Then we'll start to vibration and change the chamber temperature. And to see any failure, we will monitor all the function tests. Once we get failure, we will record the failure and trying to fix the issue. Then back to the test. This kind of test is not inside. So if your customer need this, we will have, of course, have some cost, and we will outsourcing to do the test. Okay. The next one is called conformal coating treatment. So here's the conformal coating comparison. So there are, well, I'll list the three kind of coating type. One is epoxy and silicone and paralleling. So as you can see, the paralleling should be the best solution of the conformal coating. Chemical resistance is good, the barrier is good, everything is good. So I will do more introduce of this. So this page is kind of hard to me, but I will explain for an easy way. Basically, the paralleling deposition process is heat the material and become a gas. Then put the component and the gas in a vacuum environment. Then the gas material will very smoothly to the component surface. So compared to the traditional coating, we can make a thinner coating on the component. And this is much better for the thermal. So, and as I know, the paralleling coating is not much expensive than the silicone coating. So why the paralleling coating is not so popular in the market? That is because paralleling coating it's a non-rework process. Once we get any component break like MLCC, like a resistor break, we need to rework to change the new components. Under paralleling coating, it cannot rework only for a piece smaller area. But for the silicone coating, it's easier to erase the coating. Then we can rework the component, then recover the coating on the component. So that's why in the market, if we see the comparison table, the paralleling coating should be the only choice because the cost is not so high and the quality is very good. But in reality, this process cannot be reworked and cannot be reworked. That means we maybe need to drop a whole equipment, whole PCBA just because of one MLCC. So this page just let you know about the difference of coating process and give you some information. So back to this page. What conformal coating can protect? So moisture protection, of course, and dust protection. Sure. Also can protect salt and chemistry protection. So that's why some many strict environment, many mission critical application are using coating for their product. And one thing I rarely see that on the coating production introduced. So I'll list this one for your reference. That called tin whisker production. So what is tin whisker? Tin whisker basically occurs in like long whisker-like projections. So it will happen during overtime in your product, and the growth at a rate of 0.03 to 0.9 millimeter per year. So I put some picture. You can see it's like a long whisker here. And how it happens? The tin whisker grow because the compressive stress in the platen. So normally where our platen is using copper, so it's as you can see, Cu substrate, and we're using tin for our component soldering. So once the tin touch the copper, they will generate to a Cu6 and SN5. And this generate a force and push the tin out, become the tin whisker. So this one is getting worse after all the factory production is using row house production because it makes all the material unstable. So some of our customers are using conformal coating to prevent the tin whisker happen. As I mentioned, sometimes they need to put their equipment in the storage for maybe 5 years or 10 years. That means the tin whisker grows a lot. So sometimes make some failure in their product. So let's talk about what will tin whisker cause. Tin whisker may cause some short circuits between the near pins or components. And sometimes the environment is with some vibration. It may also drop off and cause a serial short because you don't know the tin whisker will drop it in which area. Sometimes get a very serious damage. Okay, I downloaded the tin whisker video from the YouTube. Just show you what is tin whisker and how it make the short circuit. As you can see, this tin whisker is very close to the near pin. So maybe 1 or 2 years later, it will get a short circuit between the two pins. And this shows how it grows. And different tin whisker. Okay. So my presentation is over. So if you have any question, please just let me know. Yeah. Oh, sorry guys, I found you get some message, but I didn't see that. System integrator and user. Oh, okay. So I will answer the question. It's Paulo. You're asking our customer. Basically, our customer is system integrator. We are not directly to the end user, because just like I mentioned, we produce a board level product. So in that in the mission critical application, we are far from the finished good. So mostly our customer is system integrator. Okay, so and then the second is Michael. Does DFI wash PCBs parallel to conformal coating? Right now, we don't have component coating process in our factory. This is outsourcing. So the wash PCBA will be due in our supplier. So our part is to make sure the product shipped to the coating supplier is 100% good, and make sure the product after conformal coating back to our factory, it's also no problem. So we set up some like AIO process to make sure the product out and product come back to be no problem. So answer your question, we don't wash PCB BA in our factory. We outsource it. And Roberto, MOQ, okay. What about MOQ of conformal coating? As I know, is start from like 50 pieces to 100 pieces. And Michael, can we have a copy? The PPT? Okay, we will put the webinar video in our website, so you can download the video. Okay, no, maybe you cannot download, but you can see the presentation after the meeting. So anyone want to ask questions? Okay, so if no more question, so thank you for your coming, join our webinar, and you're welcome to our next webinar, maybe next week, right? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, guys.